Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today in this video I am going to share and explain all the necessary steps or stages for teachers outside the United States of America to also be a teacher here in the US in the future. So before I begin, I am fervently asking you guys to please support my channel by clicking the subscribe button below so you will get updated with my future uploads. Okay, so many were asking in the past, people were really asking me personally how I was able to make it, what were the steps that I underwent before I became a teacher here in the United States. So that's one of the top reasons why I am inspired to create this video, for me to help or share my knowledge about going here in the United States as a teacher. Okay, so in this video I am going to share and explain 10 steps for teachers who are teaching outside the US to consider, or for them to also understand. So by the time they're planning to go here and teach, they know what to do. They are guided with these steps. Okay, so let's begin. The first step is, if you are a teacher outside the US, the first step that you have to do or you have to consider is you have to look for your facilitating agency or agency. Because 90 to 95% of teachers in the US right now, they were able to land a job, a teaching job here through a facilitating agency. Shall we say the remaining 5%, they were able to teach here through a direct hiring, or some of them married a foreigner or American citizen. So that's my 5%. The rest of the 95%, they were able to be here through an agency. Okay, so talking about agency, guys, in a separate video I'm going to also present top agencies in the Philippines. Okay, top agencies in the Philippines that you guys can go, you can check their website, you can apply through them. Okay, so I'm going to make another video on that. Okay, that is step one. Look for facilitating agency. Agency is the job of your agency, guys, is from the word facilitating. They will facilitate, they will guide you from step 1 to or until the last step. So from the evaluation of your transcript, going to your online application, going to your online job interview with US employer, going to your visa application, until you are here in the United States. So they are there to guide you, help you, to assist you, to coach you. Okay, so that's why we need agency, because it's very difficult to go here and teach without agency. That is number one. So later on you would know, I will be mentioning later on how much you are going to pay if you will teach here through an agency. Okay, step 2 is most of our agencies there in the Philippines, once you apply or once you have applied through them, they're going to put you inside a collaboration group. So what does it mean? In that collaboration group, they are going to put all the aspirant teachers there, or all the applicants, in one group, and you will be collaborating there. For example, there are some possible questions during your interview that each of the members of the group has to answer, something like that. So you will be learning from each other how to answer questions, interview questions. And if there are some announcements, the agency will make their announcements through the collaboration group. Okay, that is step 2. You will be in that group once you successfully, or you have successfully applied in that agency already. Okay, step 3. Step 3 is, this involves money already. This is the time that you have to prepare amount of money, because step 3 is about evaluation of transcript. So what does it mean? So in this step, or in this stage, your agency will be asking you to send to them your transcript of record, or your TOR, photocopies of your diploma, and some other documents. Okay, so those documents will be sent to the United States for evaluation, guys. That is the very first step also of going to your online application. You cannot apply online, or you cannot apply for a job, teaching job here, without getting your transcript evaluated. Okay, so usually agency will ask you 400 USD or 400 US dollars for that matter. Okay, that is only for the evaluation. You don't have the job yet. Okay, $400. So at the same time, once you send your papers for evaluation, by the way, guys, through evaluation, that is to tell you what you are eligible to teach here in the United States. Okay, so you cannot just use your TOR here for your application, but that needs to be evaluated. Okay, so the next step is licensing and background check. For licensing and background check, this also involves money. Usually, agency will ask you to pay 300 US dollars. So earlier, I mentioned 400 for the evaluation of your transcript, and right now 300 for US dollars for licensing and evaluation. So what are these 3 documents, guys? You need these documents before you are allowed, or you are eligible to apply online, because your application is, of course, through online. You will be sent the link, the different links by your agency, and you're going to apply according to the need, or according to your major. Okay, so we need these documents, the evaluation of transcript, and your license, or the licensing part, before you can start applying online. So that means to say that we need to invest this amount, this much, even if we don't have a job offer yet. Okay, so 400 plus 300, so we already have 700 US dollars right now. Okay, the next step, granting that your evaluation, your licensing applications are successful. So the next step is, that is the time that your agency will send you links, school districts who are hiring for teachers on the different subject areas. Okay, so this is one of the exciting moments also in the application process, because you will be getting inside, you will be having a chance to get inside those links and start your application. Okay, and of course, during the online application here in the United States, guys, this is more than just of submitting your resume and application letter, because once you are inside the link of those school districts, there are lots of things that you have to do also, like filling in those forms, answering some questions. So it takes courage and at the same time patience. Okay, even in the online application process. So shall we say you're done with the application process, you're done applying for a position, teaching position there, or in one of the school districts. The next step is your online job interview with your U.S. employer. or maybe your school principals or school district personnel. So talking about online job interview, guys, I know that our main goal in our first interview is to get hired and get a job offer from that particular school or from the school where you're applying from. But we need to, or please take note that to some people or to some teacher applicants, that is not always the case. So that means what I'm trying to say is, if you cannot get that job in your first interview, please don't get discouraged, because you can apply as many as you can during your online application, because I am sure your facilitating agency will provide you all the links that, for instance, if you're applying for English language arts position, so all the schools that are looking for ELA teacher, then your agency will give you all the links. That means to say that you have lots of options for your application. So even in your first 5, for example, I am not saying that in your first 5 you will not get the job, you will not get hired, but worst case scenario, in your first 5 job interview, you are not get hired. Please don't feel discouraged, because you can always have your job interview from some other schools. Okay? And talking about the validity of your documents, your evaluated transcript, and your licensing, guys. For example, here in New Mexico, our license, the validity of our license is, it will take 9 years. What does it mean? So within that time frame, I am eligible to apply for a teaching position here in the United States. Shall we say in your first year, you don't get a job offer, even though you had a chance to get interviewed online, but you don't get a job offer from any of the schools that you're applying from. So you still have to, you don't have to worry about that, because you have 9 years to reapply or to apply. Okay, so that's what is good about their documents here, because it will not just expire after a year, after a few months. But as I said, in New Mexico, where I am right now, we have 9 years. Our license validity has 9 years. Okay, so that is just FYI. So granted that one of the schools that you're applying is, offering you a job, so the next step is you will be sent that letter, recommendation letter, job recommendation letter, for you to accept or reject. So of course, once you have that letter, that is a turning point of your teaching career, because of course nobody's going to reject it, except if, for example, you are hired in 2 of the schools, 2 in all schools that you are applying. So you're going to choose which school you're going to accept. So to the other ones, you're going to reject those. Okay? But of course, if you want to get that job offer, you're going to sign it, accept it, and you're going to send it electronically or send it online. Okay? That you're going to accept the job offer from that school or from that school district. Okay, so that is the next step after you are getting a job offer. The next step is your U.S. visa application. Okay, U.S. visa application is crucial. It takes a month or 2 for it to get done. And talking about U.S. visa, guys, again, this will involve another amount of money, because U.S. visa is not for free. So if you want to know how much you have to prepare for that, recently one of the visa sponsors is asking teachers to pay for their first year on their visa, because visa is annual. You have to pay for your visa annually. So before going here, you're going to pay for your first year, and the amount that you have to prepare is $2,700 US. That already includes your insurance for your first year, health insurance for your first year. I will repeat, $2,700 US. Not to mention that I was already mentioning 400 and 300 earlier, plus 27 right now. Okay, so after a month or two waiting for your US visa your US visa to get approved, the next step is, so assuming or granted that you have your they call the document DS 2019. That is from your US visa sponsor. They will send you that document named DS 2019, and you need that document going to your next step, which is your US embassy interview. Okay, during your US embassy interview, guys, you need that document named DS 2019 together with the other documents. So you don't have to worry, because your agency will send you the list of the documents that you have to prepare for your US embassy interview. Okay, so the purpose of going to your US embassy interview is for your passport for them to approve your passport, your visa going to the United States. And on this process, on this step, this requires another amount of money, and the amount that you have to prepare is $160. That's why they call this DS 160, because you need to pay $160 US for this transaction. So during your interview, guys, you really have to do your best. Anyway, your agency will give you some tips in order for you to be successful during your interview, because the disadvantage of going to this process is, once you will fail in your first interview, you have to pay another $160 US going to your second interview. And it happens to some teachers already. Before going here, they failed on their first interview, so no other choice but to reapply and pay, and they paid another $160 US. Okay, so hopefully when you are applying, when you are on that stage or step already, you will get approved just in your first interview, so you will not have to spend for another $160 US on your second, your third, and on your fourth interview. And during your US embassy interview, guys, that is very crucial, because once they will not approve your visa, even if you have the job offer already, then you cannot enter. You cannot book your flight to the United States. So that is very crucial and very important. So your excitement, your patience does not only end until your job offer, but you need to be more prayerful also in your US embassy interview, because if they will not approve your visa for some reasons, because it happened to a few teachers that the visa was not approved, so no other choice but you cannot enter into the United States, into the land of United States of America. So that is very crucial. Okay, so granted that you passed the interview, so the last step is your Commission on Filipinos Overseas Orientation, or we call this CFO orientation, and book your flight to the US. Okay, let's start first with your CFO orientation. After you have a successful interview with the US Embassy, you still have to wait for at least 3 to 5 working days for them to send to your mailing or home address your passport with the stamp visa. So once you have your passport already, that is the best time for you to schedule for your CFO orientation. And FYI guys, that orientation is a must. You cannot go outside the country, like working abroad, if you don't have that orientation attended. So it is a must for you to go there. And the important thing is there is a sticker that the CFO personnel is going to stamp in your passport. That signifies that you're done attending with the CFO orientation. So that is part of the requirement. That is part of a must thing. Okay, so that is just a half-day event. You don't have to worry about the time because you still have to spend at least half day. So you are done with your orientation. Okay, so granted that you're done with your orientation, the next thing you can do is you have to book your ticket now to the United States. So that is the best time that you're going to purchase your plane ticket going to the United States. And usually what happens is during that period of time, you only have a week or two allowance time for your allowance time before your flight or before the new school year starts here in the United States. So the tendency is if you're going to book a flight, purchase a ticket with a close time, what I mean is your flight is next week or in the next 2 weeks, you cannot expect for a cheaper plane ticket. So estimatedly, you have to prepare at least $1,000 for your plane ticket. Okay, that is just one way going to the United States, going here. So now let's review on the estimated budget that you guys have to prepare while you are still there in your home country right now. And if time comes that you have finally decided to take a try of applying here, so you know already, you have in mind already the estimated amount, the budget that you have to prepare. So let's review. Number one, we have the transcript evaluation, that is $400. Number two, licensing and background check, that is $300. Number three, we have the U.S. Visa sponsor, that is $2,700. That already includes your insurance, health insurance for your first year here. Number four, we have your U.S. Embassy interview, that is $160. Number five, you have your CFO orientation, that is $40. Number six, you have your plane ticket, that is $1,000. And lastly, since working with your facilitating agency, guys, is not for free, that's why we have what we call placement fee. So in my case, my placement fee was 2 years ago, it was $5,000. So right now we have a estimated total of $9,000+ So let us just round this up to $10,000. So it can already include your allowance. Okay, so I hope guys this video helps. And before I end this video, thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And if in case you have some questions or clarifications pertaining to some of the concepts or some of the areas of discussion I have in this video, you are free to write them or write it in the comment section below. Okay, so see you guys in my next video. Thank you.